What's up, everybody? Today is the Sabbath day, and I'm at Encompass, sitting outside taking a break. And I came to see my mother, visit with her for a little while. And I have a story I want to tell you guys. As soon as I can find my lipstick over here. Oops, it's a little parched. All right. So today is October the 11th. And on the 2nd, excuse me, drinking some coffee too, so y'all excuse my manners. So I got me an Uber ride to the hospital on October 2nd. And in the Uber ride, there was a young man. I'll leave his name out for right now, Uber driver. And he began to tell me his sad sob story about how he had been living in his car. He hadn't eaten for 5 days. This was a tall, big, healthy Caucasian young man, 6'2". I would say he was close to about 240. Nice big muscles, bald head, good-looking young man. And he told me his sad sob story about how he'd been living in his car, hadn't eaten in 5 days, and he'd been saving his money up, getting ready to move in his place. He had a divorce, and he got the house, but he gave it to his wife, his ex-wife, and his son was living with her, and he's trying to get a place, and he's only short $100, and he called his ex to see if he can get the money from her so that his son could have another place to stay when he comes to stay with his dad. And, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy that she wouldn't help you, if y'all have a son together. And he was like, yeah, she wouldn't even, act like she wanted to help me at all. And so I was like, wow. So I tell you what, if you don't mind turning around and going back to my apartment, I'll be more than happy to give you the money to get moved into your place. And sure enough, I went back to my apartment. I got him $120 out of my safe box because he said he hadn't eaten. So I thought, if I give him my extra $20, he can get him something to eat. And sure enough, he takes me on to the hospital, and I give him my card, and he gives me a hug because he was like really astounded that I would be willing to help him. He was like really blown away that a stranger would be willing to help him. But as a woman of God, I don't mind helping nobody. If I have it, I'll help. If I don't have it, I can't help. But I had it to help. It didn't bother me to give him $120. And so, sure enough, he dropped me off, and I went on up into the room to visit with my mom at the hospital at Texas Hughley. And I get a text message from him saying, that who he was, and thank you, and how beautiful I was, and da-da-da-da-da, and, that I had a lot of good things coming to me because, I was willing to help him. And then I get a text message saying that he was on his way to his storage, and when we got there, he realized that throughout all of his, running around, he had forgot to pay his storage, and he was $68 short for that. And I said, you know what? I don't mind helping you. I said, if you come pick me up from the hospital, take me home, and bring me back to the hospital, I'll be more than happy to give you the, $68. So he did that. He came, got me at the hospital, took me home. I let him come into my apartment, and I showed him around, showed him some of my artwork and different things that I do, my products that I make and manufacture and what have you, and even gave him a watermelon because I didn't know when I was going to be able to eat it. It was, I hadn't cut it yet, so it was a whole watermelon and probably about 4 or 5 bananas was sitting out. I just knew I wasn't going to be able to eat none of that fruit, because I was going to be up at the hospital. So I gave him the banana, gave him my watermelon, gave him something to drink, and gave him the $70 that he needed to get his storage. And, he proceeded on to woo me and romance me with his words, because we never got physical other than one time He said he told me he was going to come up to the hospital the next day, visit me about 3 o'clock. And sure enough, I believed him. And 3 o'clock came, and I got to calling him like, hey, where you at? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm running late. I'll be up there about 4:30. So he got up there between 4:30 and 5. And we sat in his car for a few minutes, and we kissed, and he wanted to, rub my breast. And, of course, he couldn't, too much because of my bra. And then he was like, your bra is my enemy right now, type of stuff, and I really liked him. I thought, he was sincere with everything he was doing, which was love bombing me, which I recently found out about love bombing. People do that just so they can get what they want from you. And so anyway, he left after we sat outside for a little while and kissed and hugged and talked and whatnot. And then he told me he was going to come pick me up on a Monday evening about 7 p.m. And I told him, okay, fine. Well, Monday morning, the hospital released Mom from the hospital to the rehab. And so I'm up here at rehab. I'm waiting around for him. We get to talking on the phone or texting back and forth. He tell me his car done overheated, and he ain't going to be able to, make it until after 8-ish. And I'm thinking, well, this visitation is from 8 to 8, so I can't just sit up here after 8 p.m. and try to figure out if you're going to come get me. So I text him and say, hey, why don't I just Uber over to your place? Oh, no, you can't, I just moved in, da-da-da-da-da. I didn't tell y'all that the first time I kind of missed a little bit that happened because I had called him like on last Saturday morning to check and see what was going on with him. And I didn't get any kind of response. And I'm thinking, dang, why is he not responding? I said, oh, he done got the money and ran. That's all he wanted was the money, based on his storytelling. And probably, got his wife right there and his child right with him, And so, long story short, he finally contacts me, but it was only after I had contacted Uber and told them what had happened. And so he called me back and, call him and tell him that it's a mistake. I wasn't trying to ghost you and this and that. And, because I was concerned that this man had tried to scam me, because he used my heart because my heart is tender and the fact that I'm willing to give. And then, I ended up contacting Uber and telling them, hey, please cancel the complaint. He really was sleeping. He, wasn't trying to ghost me, da-da-da-da-da. And so everything kind of settled down, and we kept talking, only by way of text and a little bit by phone, but mostly by text message. And then not long after I had given him the money for the storage, I'm at home a few days later, maybe about the 4th or the 5th, we still talking, and he sends me a text saying, am I on Uber? Amazon Prime. And I was like, yeah, I'm on Amazon Prime. And he's like, well, can you order me XYZ, because all of the work and effort I put in, if I don't get this product, it's going to go to, be for no avail or whatever he was saying. And I'm like, what? So he sends me a picture of the muscle powder, 2 of them. One was 29, one was 24. Can you buy this for me and get this for me? I'm like, and then he sends me a text. Well, if you don't feel comfortable, just, that's fine. I just wanted to see because you got Prime, da-da-da-da-da. I'm thinking, no, I don't feel comfortable. I done already gave you $120. I done tipped you $20. Then I done turn around and gave you $70. That's $210 already. I done outed him. Only for him not to be able to keep his promises, keep his word. And it was all about him being narcissistic. Then he wanted to tell me on the low, how's your mom doing? Yeah, well, she's doing fine. You know how she's doing, but you ain't keeping your word. And then he want to get mad because I canceled the plans Monday when he's supposed to get me at 7 and he talking about 8-ish. I said, don't worry about it. Why don't we just cancel the plan? Oh, that's odd that you want to cancel behind 60 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, I didn't out you the first time you were supposed to come get me. I was supposed to come visit me at 3, but you didn't make it to 4:30. That was 90 minutes. I didn't say nothing about it. But he wanted to call out that 60 minutes because you're supposed to pick me up at 7, but then you tell me you're not going to be able to pick me up until 8-ish. You didn't say 8 o'clock. You said 8-ish. And you didn't even know guaranteed what time that was going to be. So, I decided, not that night, not Monday night. I canceled the plans for Monday night, this past Monday night. And we talked on the phone that evening, and then we texted a little bit that evening, Monday evening, after I had canceled the plan. When I got home, we texted a little bit. And, he got to being just very graphic and very sexual and all this kind of stuff. And I told him, well, look, I'm going to get off the phone. I'm finna take me a shower. I'm kind of tired. I had a long day, da-da-da-da-da. I had gotten up at 6 o'clock that morning, earlier than that, 4 o'clock that morning, Monday morning. And so I was kind of tired, And so basically, I get a text message talking about Big Daddy singing a song, Daddy want a picture, Daddy want a picture. That's what he was saying in his text message. I didn't see that until I got back, but I wasn't finna send him no naked nothing. You ain't did nothing for me. You ain't said, let me come get you, take you to eat. All you doing is begging for money and asking me to buy you stuff. And so I began to see through his ploy and his plot to just get what he can from me, telling me I'm pretty and I'm beautiful. And, I know I'm okay. I'll pass in a heavy rush. I'm not all that, I'm not as young as I used to be. But, I'm just thinking to myself, this man, all he wants to do is take from me. He ain't asking, can he do me nothing? And then he want to come over to my house, to watch movies in a day. And you can't even keep your word on what time you're going to pick me up. So I woke up early Tuesday morning. And I sent him a text message, and I basically told him, look, I think, you're a nice guy, and I really like you and everything, but I can't do the relationship at this time. And then he wanted me to commit to being in a relationship with him, and I hadn't even known this guy 2 or 3 days. So he wanted me to commit, and after that initial not being able to contact him, and then we got a chance to talk, I did tell him, I wanted to be in a relationship, because for some reason, I guess fear had struck my heart that this man had did me wrong, and I was feeling the consequences of him, ghosting me. But then, when he recontacted me and everything and got all of that straight, I was like operating in fear, to be honest. And so I told him, I wanted to be in a relationship, and so he agreed, and I agreed, and then the next few days, I just knew that it had gone downhill when he started sexualizing everything. Told me he had talked to a friend of his, showed him my picture, and talking about she's pretty and beautiful, and if they wanted to have a threesome, would she be willing? And I said to myself, I didn't even respond to it. I said, okay, I see where this is going. He don't care nothing about me, because if he did, he would have said something to his friend. He would have told his friend, man, don't say that about my woman. Don't do that. That's my woman. But no, he didn't. He didn't tell me that he defended me. He didn't tell me that he didn't defend me. So I assumed that he did not, because he laughed about it. So that let me know that he wasn't really into me. He wanted to get what he could from me. So women, you be careful out there. Don't let men take advantage of you with these sad sob stories. If they come in asking, they come in needing, that's a clear sign right there that they not coming in to give. So that's my message to you women out there. Y'all be careful with these Uber drivers. Be careful with these no good men and they sad sob stories, trying to get money, trying to get your essence, trying to get your energy, trying to take from you, and ain't coming in giving, ain't keeping their word, won't do what they say they gonna do, got a reason, an excuse, legitimate, always a great excuse. And I didn't tell y'all that when we first met, that I asked him to come into the hospital at that 3 o'clock time. He said he was going to come, and that he attempted to come in the hospital, but because his pawpaw had died, he just had, he's so traumatized. And I don't know how long ago his granddaddy died, but he's so traumatized he can't come in the hospital. That's another sign when they give you good excuses why they can't keep their word. But they want you to keep yours. And they'll give you a hard time when you don't keep your word. And when you try to correct them, they're going to come at you and assassinate your character. So y'all be careful with these ungodly, no good men. If they don't come in giving, and then be careful for the ones who they trickle give. And what I mean by trickle give mean they'll give you or buy you a hamburger, but they never intend to buy you nothing else. They'll buy you one thing just to get your attention, and they'll never contribute once ever after that. You watch them kind too, because they have good intentions in the beginning. They got great intentions. They'll take you out to eat. They'll do whatever, something in the beginning, but they'll never do nothing else. And then they'll start asking. Be careful of them too. It's a lot of different type of men out there in the world, and I just pray that you women take your time and watch the signs, because a lot of these men come with this wickedness, and your spirit will be able to see what's going on with them. All right, peace and love to all of you women out there in the Lord, trying to be right before God Almighty and the Holy Heavenly Family. Don't let these men have their way with y'all. Keep y'all peace, your joy. Don't let them take it with them. When you leave them, don't let them leave with your joy. When you leave them, don't let them take your peace, okay? You stay happy, you stay focused on whatever thing you got going on. Whatever your world was doing before that man came in, continue doing that, because you don't let them stop your rhythm. Don't let them stop your glow. Don't let them stop your go, because that's what they're trying to do. Praise God that when we give from our hearts, and they will have to deal with the compensation and for the deeds that they do in this earth. Peace and glory and praises to the Most High. Y'all be blessed, be loved, and know that you got strength from the Most High God. All right, everybody. Peace of the Lord be with you. Hope you got some from this message.